What is up? We are here. The Chicago Bulls come so close to pulling off a victory against the Cleveland Cavaliers, losing 119 to 113. And this honestly was a surprising game. This was a game that made us happy as Bulls fans because the Bulls showed their new offense can keep up with one of the best teams in the league. Our defense even showed up in this game for most of it. Even towards the end, we still did some good things. There's a lot of things to talk about, and we'll do all that. But first, you got to hear the intro.
Why not? Why can't I be the MVP of the league?
Welcome to the Let's Talk Bulls podcast.
Welcome, LTB Nation, to Let's Talk Bulls, your number one Bulls podcast in Chicago. My name is Quinton. I'm your host, and if you're new to the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell notification so you're notified when I drop more of these videos. And if you guys didn't know, this is the first pre-game live of this channel. So thank you guys for rocking with it and hopping in. We're going to talk about first, before we do anything, the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're the best team in the league. They did their job they were supposed to do. They stayed undefeated. But the good thing from the Bulls is they did the one thing I did not expect them to do this game. And that's stop the bigs from Cleveland from having a big game. So when you look at it, Jared Allen only had 9 points, 5 rebounds this game. Evan Mobley, 15 points, 11 rebounds. You can deal with that. 15 points and 9 points for the bigs in a team that's doing so well, especially when the Bulls are averaging over 60 points in the paint. They did their job. The only reason we lost this game is one, we couldn't stay consistent, but two, we were going up against the likes of Donovan Mitchell, scoring 36 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 12 for 26, though, from the field, and that's been a thing the Bulls have been doing very well. And that's stopping the other stars from having a consistent, efficient game. Do they give up a lot of points? Do they let the other stars on other teams drop 25, 30, 35 on us? Yeah, they do. But the thing I've seen this year that is a slight bright side is the Bulls tend to stop them from doing that with any consistency, right? They got to take 25, 26, 27 shots to even come close to those numbers. And that's something that you can build on in the future. Darius Garland, 17 points, 5 assists. Those were the two big scores for this team. We saw the game kind of go back and forth. Bulls were up, Cleveland was up. It did its thing. But the big reason I think the Bulls lost, and it's the issue that the Bulls have been suffering for the last few games, they are not consistent throughout an entire game. We see spurts, long spurts of this team looking amazing, right? They look like they can shoot. They look like they can pass the ball. They're moving without the ball. They're getting each other involved, and they're also covering for each other on defense. But they do that 2 or 3 quarters out of a game, and they never do it for all 4 quarters. And that is what you need if you want to be a championship type of team, if you want to be a contender in the playoffs. You got to play 4 quarters of hardcore, all the time, focused basketball. The Bulls still did okay, though. Even being close in this game is a surprise, because I'm going to be real with you. I thought they were going to get blown out this game. I thought it was going to be a sad thing to watch. Honestly, I thought I was going to want to turn it off halfway through the game. But they did their job. They did what you're supposed to do. They came out with energy. They pushed the Cavs to the brink. They were playing good defense for a lot of the game, playing great offense, shooting the ball. Patrick Williams giving us one of his best games ever since he's come into the league. So I got to give a shout out to him for being aggressive. Pat Will, 13 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 for 13 from the field, 3 for 7 from the three-point line. And that isn't just the full story. He was aggressive. He was going after it, taking shots, even some shots that I personally don't think he should have took. But that's what I want from Patrick. He always seems like he's not aggressive enough and doesn't take the shots he should. So seeing him take a moment and shoot some shots that maybe are questionable, but they're only shots you take if you're confident in yourself. If you know, hey, whether I make it or miss it, I'm taking it. That's what you want to see. That is the next step for Pat to start to grow on this team and find his spot. You also got to give a shout out to Kobe White. He was hot this game. It doesn't always happen. He's back and forth for the last few times. 20 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 for 13 from the field, 5 for 11 from the 3-point line, 5 for 5 from the free throw line. Kobe has started to get to the free throw line more in the last year or so. I'm liking this movement. I like him to start doing that. I do hope that he starts to attack the rim a little bit more, though. One of the biggest things last year that made Kobe such a great asset to this team, that put him on that run, that made it questionable if he should be most improved player of the year, was the fact that he was attacking people off the dribble. We know he can shoot, but he has to get downhill. Kobe White has one of the fastest first steps in the league. He definitely probably has top 2 fastest first step on this team. You got to use that. Get to the rim. Stay with your head down and attack the basket, because when you do that, that opens up your 3-point shot so much more. And he's kind of stepped back from that. So if we can get him to continue to play the way he's playing, start getting more consistent, that's where you're going to see his next step. But even with that, we still had a great game from the 2 big people you needed it from. I got to talk about Vooch. Vooch has continued this year to be a staple for this team. 20 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. He didn't get his double-double, but that's okay. 9 for 15 from the field, 1 for 3 from the 3-point line. He's not taking as many threes as he was before, and that's been a great point for the Bulls. He's starting to establish the post. Now, I will say in this game, I did expect the Bulls to give him the ball more. There was times where he was open with a smaller player on him. We didn't pass him the ball. There was times he looked frustrated about that. But the team has to start to find him even more in those situations. This is Orlando Vooch. Vooch right now is playing some of the best basketball he's played in his career. He's also playing the best basketball he's played as a Bull. You got to look for him. He's great in the post. He's great in that mid-range. Do not try to make him focus on threes. If you see him with a mismatch, you got to hit him. And keep hitting him. In the words of LeBron James and all of his teammates, run the same play over and over again until someone stops it. If you see you pass it in the post and he did his work and he got to work, give him the ball again in the post. If he passes out and you get an assist, give him the ball again in the post. Just keep running that play until someone makes you have to change it. The Bulls are too eager to start trying new things. Vooch will score 2 or 3 times, and then immediately it's Zach's turn. It's Kobe's turn. You got to keep riding the hot hand. But with that, let's talk about Zach LaVine as well, because he also is having one of the best seasons I've seen, one of the best consistent formulas of how to score I've seen, definitely in his career. He's learning to let the game come to him. And you see a little bit of that DeMar mid-range post-up game starting to come forward. And that is where Zach needs to grow to make himself even deadlier on the court. I love seeing him posting people up. And honestly, he's looking comfortable doing it. Like, it's not looking like he's forcing it. He looks like this is part of his game now. He makes some beautiful shots with it. He's also now getting people to pump fake, and they're jumping for it. If he can continue to make that even better, it's going to be scary to watch him on another team, because he definitely probably still won't be a Chicago Bull. And then when you talk about Josh Giddey, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, almost gets his triple-double again. We are so close to getting a Josh Giddey triple-double, and he's showing why you went and got him. Yeah, there's some times when he's not the best, but this is what you can get from your starting point guard. Getting 8 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, it's just, you can't complain about that from your starting point from Josh Giddey. You also can't complain about him shooting 2 for 4 from the 3-point line. No one expects Josh to go 2 for 4. And if he can do that while scoring 18, while getting you rebounds, while getting you assists, while getting the team moving, it's just a benefit for you in the long run. I would assume off the bench, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 for 8 from the field, 1 for 4 from the free throw line. He was attacking, which is what you ask. But I think the keys to this game, and we didn't really see a lot of it. And I think we've been kind of, I want to talk for most Bulls fans right here. I think we've been kind of stepping aside. Dalen Terry needs to get a lot more credit than he's getting. He's not scoring a lot, right? He had 4 points, 4 rebounds, 2 for 4 from the field. But Dalen Terry is starting to do, may I say it, Alex Caruso type things. He's going out there, he's being aggressive, right? He's getting after it. He's getting rebounds. He's going after 50-50 plays. He's trying to get in there and make a difference in the game. And when he's in the game, you see the effort level change. And that's what I want to see from him. We don't need Dalen Terry to score 27 points right now. We have our scorers. We need someone on the defensive end who makes an effort. Someone who starts to get the IQ to make a change and can defend some of the best players in the league on the other team when you need it. We need someone to get extra rebounds, to box people out, to dive, to jump out of bounds, jump into the stands, do the small, dirty work. And that's what he's been focused on. His jump shot is still trash as shit, and I don't see it getting better for a while. But if he can start to do the small things, that's where you're going to see it continue to shine. Um, Julian Phillips, no points, 3 rebounds, 0 for 1 from the field in 10 minutes. He can do better. We know he can do better. But yeah, this was a game for the Bulls where they were right there and they couldn't pull it off. I hope that they start to continue to do this, right? I would rather them lose this type of game. The loss today does not make me angry. And if you're part of this channel, if you've been watching the videos, you know there's been some losses that make me want to cuss people out. This one is not one of them. This one is one where throughout the game, I was excited. I was happy to watch the Bulls play. It was a fun game. They were going back and forth. Like some of you guys who've been using a service that you probably shouldn't talk about using because you know that the Bulls can't show games in Chicago in certain places. If you're also using that service like I am, I don't know if you're getting the same issue where the game breaks up and you have to restart the stream over and over again like me. But there's some times where I just had to keep trying to find a way to watch this. So I had to end up watching the Cleveland Cavaliers side of the broadcast, listening to their broadcasters. And they were literally laughing at how much the Bulls are shooting now, right? They were getting shots up and they see it. And other teams are talking about it. And that is something that you love to see. The Bulls have an identity of being a fast paced shooting team. And if they can stick with that, if they can continue to have fun plays and play fast basketball that gets us excited, that's what we want. We don't ask for much. Right now, we're not asking for the Bulls to win a title. We're not asking for them to be the best player. If anything, we're not even asking them to make the playoffs. Most of us want them to lose most of the season so we can get a good pick. But what we do want to see is growth in your young players. We want to see Modest on the court. We want to see this team look like they care, running, being aggressive, showing some fun times, throwing oops, getting close games like this with really good teams so we know they can be better if they make the right moves. And most of all, we want to not see Javon Carter on the court. And if we get that, it's going to be a good year. If we get us losing and being shitty and no one looks like they're getting better, then there's going to be a problem and someone needs to lose their job. Mostly Billy Donovan. But he won't because he probably secretly signed to another 37 years as the Bulls coach. But with that, that is the first live. We're going to keep trying to do these lives. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a comment even in the video afterwards and keep joining us for these videos. I hope you guys enjoy the video. I hope you enjoy the channel. Keep love in basketball. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.